know, over the 90 years in business, you know, there have been recession, depression, good times, war. You survive through so many periods in history that it's pretty amazing when you think of everything that must have happened over the 90-year period. And it's almost like a historical event of life when you look back and think of our business.
The effort, the activity of the entire nation was focused on winning the war. All the raw materials, etc., went to the factories that were designed to manufacture war material and war product, and so there was a hiatus, basically, of the Ford business. But eventually it came back, and you'll still see ads where E.D. King Sr. ran ads saying, you know, we're supporting the war effort, but we're coming back, in so many words, and that's exactly what happened.
Sonny's father became a banker. He went to, at that time, Anniston National Bank, which is today Regions Bank. And he became a banker, and Sonny became the Ford dealer. And he loved everything about the car business. He loved being a part of the community and making sure that he was a great citizen, which he certainly always was.
What I mainly think about when I think about King Motor is the early advertising that they did. It was so far ahead of anybody else, the outdoor advertising.
And I remember as a young man, a young boy, coming to Anniston, and sometimes we would go on down to Oxford. Okay, on the road to Oxford, there wasn't but one road, and that was Noble Street, South Noble, and around down and turn. But up on the mountainside, there was a sign that says, "Watch the Fords go by." And what it was, I never went up there. I always wanted to, but I saw it, and I looked for it every time. And then, of course, in the wintertime, it was much visible than it was when other. But they kept it, evidently kept it manicured and I never went up to it. But "Watch the Fords go by," and it was painted, I'm sure, in whitewash. And everybody looked for the sign. That was history. That was a landmark, and that was special because we bought the cars, the trucks from the King family.
And as you may remember, Sonny was a big sponsor of race cars. And you know, we sponsored car number 90, Kenny Schrader, car 27, Donnie Allison, and then car 64, Emma Langley. So I don't know that people remember, we were sort of an extension of the Talladega Speedway and NASCAR.
Sonny was very ambitious to be one of the larger dealers, automobile dealers in the country, and he achieved that. I don't know whether it was volume, but he was Time Magazine Dealer of the Year or something or other. And it had to do with, he had 13 different franchises. He had just about every franchise in Anniston.
Actually, our first acquisition was Honda in the mid-1970s. And then from there we got Toyota, and then at Sonny's death we had like 14 franchises in Sylacauga, Anniston, Huntsville, Auburn, Birmingham. So we had several dealerships and several franchises, you know, General Motors, I think all of them. You know, if they were on wheels, Sonny wanted to sell them.
Yeah.
And
one of the great things is that when Patty, with Sonny's untimely death and Patty took over, she was well aware that that far-flung organization was unique to Sonny's abilities to manage, and she was not going to be successful if she kept all those franchises. And so she began to sell them off, and has been, of course, extremely successful with a smaller number of franchises. But Sonny did achieve his goal. He was one of the largest automobile dealers in the country as far as volume was concerned.
1991, I became the Ford dealer after Sonny's death. I don't think I ever thought I would be a Ford dealer, but we're still here 22 years later, so that's wonderful.
The King family has always been what I consider to be an outstanding corporate citizen, if you can use that term. They're supportive of so many things, and we could spend all day going back in history and just right now, the types of charitable type organizations they support, the type of activities they support. Of course, you've got the Sonny King Charity Classic, you've got the Noble Street Festival. I guess those are the ones people recognize on an annual basis. But in addition to that, they've contributed money to so many church-type organizations, to so many charitable organizations. You could go on and on and on.
Well, you know, it's family, and then it's extended family, and then it's community. And I mean, we're very proud to be a part of the community. We have approximately 135 people that work with us, and we are all over this area. So we're a part of that community. So we want to be good citizens, and I think that we have. I mean, good times, bad times, everything has changed except the relationship that the dealership has with the customer and the trust that the dealership builds with the customer. And we're very proud of that history of trust and relationship that we have with our customers.